The newly minted mid-sized luxury SUV bridges the gap between the Range Rover Evoque and Sport. Pricing will range from the entry-level variant at $70,950 to $136,050, with a special first edition model available for $168,050. The first edition will only be available for the first model year. It has extra features accounting for its $32,000 premium over the range-topping HSER Dynamic, including extended leather interior trim to complement the perforated window leather seats, a 1600W Meridian signature sound system, matrix laser LED headlights and 22-inch wheels. The list of regular variants will be similar to other Range Rover models, with Velar and Velar R Dynamic and Standard, S, SE and HSE specifications, along with black and luxury exterior packs for a more distinguished appearance. The range will be further divided by a choice of 6 powertrains, highlighted by the new 2.0-litre Jaguar Land Rover JLR P300, which produces 221 kilowatts and 400 Nm and is the most powerful 4-pod to sit under the hood of Land Rover vehicle. It's capable of pushing the mid-sized luxury SUV from 0 to 100 km/h in 6.0 seconds, but is also miserly with a claimed combined fuel economy rating of 7.7 L/100 km. The P300 won't be available in Australia until December, but there are 3 other Ingenium choices ranging from the less powerful 184 kilowatts per 365 Nm P250 to economical but torquey D180 and D240 2.0-litre diesels producing 132 kilowatts per 430 Nm and 177 kilowatts per 400 Nm and sub 6.0 L/100 km fuel economy figures. The Velar doesn't miss out on bigger grunt with a choice of 3.0-litre V6s, including the 221 kilowatts per 700 Nm D300 oil burner and the 280 kilowatts per 450 Nm supercharged V6 petrol P380. Built on JLR's IQ aluminium platform that also underpins the Jaguar F-Pace in Range Rover Sport, the Velar has a slippery silhouette that Land Rover says is its most aerodynamic yet, though this is the company that built the Defender. While the avant-garde Velar is designed with glamour, modernity and elegance in mind, Land Rover insists it has all-terrain capabilities expected from the brand. That includes all-wheel drive, an intelligent driveline dynamic system, active locking rear differential and state-of-the-art traction control technology. Ground clearance is 213 mm with standard coil springs and up to 251 mm with the optional air suspension that's standard in all 6-cylinder models. Weighting depth is a relatively 600 mm and 615 mm respectively. All variants will have adaptive dynamic stamping technology regardless of suspension type. The practicality extends to a 2,500 kg towing capacity, with advanced tow assist, and 558-litre boot space that's comparable with the Nissan X-Trail. As expected, the interior oozes luxury, and if you tick all the options boxes you'll end up with front seats will have up to 20-way power adjustments plus heating, cooling and massage functions, while the 40-20-40 split rear seats will have heating and power adjusted reclining. Optional 4-zone climate control and cabin air ionization system will add to the all-round comfort for those long summer trips to the Polo. The Velar will debut Land Rover's state-of-the-art Touch Pro Duo infotainment system, featuring 2 high-definition 10-inch touchscreens. This system includes clever functions such as commute mode that learns your daily drive so that, using both historical and real-time traffic information, can suggest alternative routes and help you to reach your destination on time. If you're running late, it can send your location and ETA to chosen contacts via email or text message. Advanced driver assistance technology, autonomous emergency braking with pedestrian detection and adaptive cruise control with Q Assist, which stops and moves the car forward automatically in heavy traffic up to 30 km/h.
Toyota Gazoo Racing South Africa has withdrawn from the 2017 Silkway Rally, a 2-week, 2.0 km rally raid from Moscow to Beijing, due to start on July 7 in the Russian capital. The team had submitted entries for both former Dakar Rally winner Gilles Villiers and SA cross-country champion Leroy Poulter, but the decision to pull out was taken when rule changes, in line with the new rules for the 2018 Dakar Rally, weren't implemented in time for the 2017 Silkway. That's because the Silkway Rally, second only to the iconic Dakar, is one of the toughest tests of cross-country vehicles on the calendar, has for a number of years served as a proving ground for Dakar contenders. If your rally raid car survives the Silkway, that's a good basis for Buenos Aires, and whatever goes wrong between Moscow and Beijing will have to be sorted for South America. But the technical regulations for this year's Silkway haven't been updated to correspond with those already in place for the 2018 Dakar Rally, which means keeping your 2017 Dakar Rally car going for another 6 months in order to run it in the Silkway, rather than entering your 2018 Dakar contender as part of its development program. Either you have run 2 generations of cross-country racers side by side, or you lose out on half a year's worth of development and testing. Knock-on effect. We value the Silkway Rally as one of the toughest events on the international cross-country racing calendar, said Toyota Gazoo Racing S18 principal Glenn Hall. But for this year, competing there no longer makes sense. We won't rule out entering the Silkway Rally in future, but right now, we need to focus to developing our 2018 car. Sadly, there's a knock-on effect as well. Gazoo shares infrastructure with Belgian outfit Overdrive Racing on international events, so Overdrive has also had to withdraw its entry for Nasser El Attiyah from the 2017 Silkway Rally, because Hall and his team won't be there as backup.
Peugeot has launched the 3008 Dakar Maxi, its latest car built for next year's Dakar Rally. Having won the previous 2 events, the French company has its sights set on developing a car capable of continuing its success for the 2018 Rally. The 3008 Dakar Maxi is 20 cm wider than the previous car thanks to a suspension track increase of 10 cm on both sides. New upper and lower wishbones are present, as well as updated track rod ends and drive shafts. The car will make its debut at the Silkway Rally next month, a race that runs from Russia to China from July 7 to 22, in the hands of 9-time World Rally champion Sébastien Loeb. The French driver said, "I'd say the strongest point of the Peugeot 3008 Dakar Maxi is the off-road ability that it has. With its wide track and big wheels, it can go more or less anywhere. It's maybe not so agile on stage-type roads, that's more the territory of 4-wheel drive cars. But the advantage of our car is the fact that it can tackle anything, especially the dunes." He will be joined by teammates Stefan Peter Hansel and 2016 Silkway Rally winner Cyril Despers, who will both be running in the current specification 3008 Dakar, which locked out this year's Dakar Rally podium. Twice World Rally champion Carlos Sainz has also had a hand in developing the 3008 Dakar Maxi and will be joining the driver lineup for the Dakar Rally, which takes place next January.
Peugeot has a remarkable history in off-road competition, having 3 times created a team that has swept all before it at the highest level. The third triumphant coming of Peugeot has seen it blitzkrieg the Dakar Rally, a grueling 8,000 kilometers. 4,970-mile, 2-week race begun in Africa in 1979 and now run in South America each January. Peugeot's first attempt in 2015 failed miserably, but a win in 2016 and a 1-2-3 finish in 2017 gives it hope of repeating the 4 wins in a row that the team achieved in the late 1990s. So now for the follow-up. Peugeot's WRC history meant it didn't have to go far into the alumni in creating a dream team of talent, and as it aims for a 3rd straight win in the most important off-road event in the world, the team it has gathered is totally focused on developing the next state-of-the-art car, while continuing its winning ways. Cyril Despers, facing camera above, won the Dakar Rally 5 times on a KTM motorcycle before switching to Peugeot cars in 2015. His finishes since then have been 34th in 2015, 7th in 2016, and 3rd in 2017. He's the underachiever of the four-man team. Stefan Peter Hansel, standing at right, has won the Dakar Rally a record 13 times, 6 times on a Yamaha motorcycle, 3 in a Mitsubishi, twice in a Mini, and he has taken the last 2 wins in the 2016 and 2017 Dakar Rally. Carlos Sainz, seated at computer terminals above, won Dakar in 2010, but he is best known as twice World Rally Champ and the winner of 26 WRC rallies. He has also won countless major raid events, including the first 2 Silkway rallies in 2009 and 2010 when he headed the successful Volkswagen foray into rally raid with the Touareg. The 4th member of the team is Sebastian Loeb, winner of 78 WRC championship events, 9 consecutive WRC titles plus since semi-retirement from WRC. He has acquitted himself with distinction at the many other forms of motorsport he has attempted, winning events in the World Touring Car Championship, World Rallycross Championship and finishing second in the 24 Hours of Le Mans. Loeb is a motorsport polymath. Given the team assembled, Peugeot's challenge in winning a 3rd straight Dakar is clearly not being taken lightly. Hence we're seeing Peugeot's 2018 Dakar contender, the 3008 Dakar Maxi, above, several months earlier than last year's car, and we're going to see it under competition conditions next week in the 2017 Silkway Rally. If you haven't heard of the Silkway Rally, there's every chance you'll know a lot more about it soon because television rights have been sold into 196 countries for this year's race. The spectacular 10,000-kilometer, 6,214-mile, event is 2,000 kilometers, 1,243 miles, longer than the Dakar and runs the vague route of the ancient Silk Road. The event starts in Moscow on July 7th and winds its way across Russia and Kazakhstan to finish on July 22nd in Xi'an, China. The ambitions of the Silkway Rally to bring focus to this history-rich region and to offer an Eastern Dakar event over equally spectacular wilderness are clear. Watch out for some astonishing imagery over the next few weeks. The 3008 Dakar Maxi will be driven in the July 7th to 22nd Silkway Rally by Loeb, which is an unprecedented early competition debut for a Dakar car. The reason is that the new Peugeot 3008 Dakar Maxi is 20 cm, 8 in, wider than last year to allow the suspension track to be increased by 10 cm, 4 in, each side. It is such a radical departure from current practice that it needs to be evaluated under real conditions before it is relied upon by the whole team. The much broader wheelbase gives the rear-wheel drive car greater stability at speed, and Loeb is quite positive about what the car brings to high-speed desert racing. I think the car is much more stable now that it is wider, and so it feels a bit different to drive, Loeb says. In the very narrow and technical parts that does mean it's more cumbersome of course, but in terms of stability and driving it's definitely a step forward. The car has less of a tendency to roll on its suspension now, so that gives you more confidence to attack and get it sideways. I'd say the strongest point of the Peugeot 3008 Dakar Maxi is the off-road ability that it has. With its wide track and big wheels, it can go more or less anywhere. It's maybe not so agile on stage-type roads, that's more the territory of four-wheel drive cars. But the advantage of our car is the fact that it can tackle anything, especially the dunes. Loeb will be the only starter in the new prototype, as his teammates Despers and Peter Hansel will be driving the same cars that finished 1-2-3 in the 2017 Dakar Rally, and it will be on the younger pairing to ensure the team retains the Silkway title won last year by Despers. It will also be interesting to see how Loeb fares in the car in comparison to his teammates.